you, people. Going to do a little cleaning and show you kind of what I'm doing on these guns here. So I'm gonna get some gloves on. I thought I had some different. Oh yeah, those are my gloves. I got these cheaper gloves. When I'm not doing something really, I use these cheaper gloves. If I'm doing something that's really rough, I'll use these better gloves with the little ridges, and they're thicker so they don't tear as easy. But this is going to be pretty low key. Not doing a gun with a lot of different sharp edges, etc. So I'll just throw this little glove on here. Throw this little glove on here. So what I got here is for my little gun rack in a car, I put some of this plastic dip that you dip your things in. It makes like a rubber coating. So I put that little rubber coating on there. Tell where I dipped this one, I got a little rubber coating on there. So, I hope you guys get enough light. I can't really tell. Yeah, I guess that's pretty good light. Alright. So, but when I pulled these out to dip them, I noticed there's a little bit of a kind of surface rust on here. Not a lot. So I'm just going to spray these down with a little bit of my this rim roll that I'm trying to get rid of. And then I'm going to get to these bayonets after I do this. But so, when I talk about kind of cleaning my tools up, this is what I'm talking about. So these are just some different tools, and now I'm going to grab a little bit of steel wool, and I'm just going to kind of scrub this off a little bit with that oil. And that's going to get rid of a lot of that surface rust. Hell, that almost looks brand new already. So that's the side that I haven't done, and that's the side I did. Is there a difference? Oh yeah, much better. It's like a little new piece of tool there. So I'm just kind of getting a little bit of surface rust off here, and I'm going to do this to each of these little tools here. I probably should be using my dirty cloth so I don't get my other cloth so clean. Okay, that one's done. This one's got a couple little rust spots on it. That's done. And that's done. I already did this one. I think I might have done that one, but I'll do it again because I'm not sure if I got all four sides. That one's done. And this little guy needs to be done. Oh, he was really dirty. He had a lot of rust on him. Alrighty. So I got all my surface rust off. And now, if I want to spray these down again, before I wipe them off, I can do that. Stack them up so they all get some of the oil. Turn them over. And now they all got a fresh coat of oil. If I really wanted to protect them, I might lay them down outside and just put a coat of oil on it. Or a coat of wax. Because that wax really makes them nice and clean. Alright, how many times am I going to drop something before I figure out to move them off this damn thing? My last video where I shot the damn barrel out the H&K had a lot of people, well, that was funny, I laughed at you. Whatever. I'll laugh at my dumb ass too. Shit. Alright. And now this one is done. So, I got the handles coated, and they're all kind of cleaned up now. I've removed all the little surface rust and stuff, and these tools are good to go. Doesn't take long to take care of your tools. You should always clean tools. I hate when I pull out a tool and it doesn't look like it's been cleaned. So I'll bring these out the garage. Maybe I'll put a coat of wax on them, I'm not sure. But, where can I set these? I'll set them over here by the door so they'll keep getting in the way, and I'll bring them out to the garage. Alright, so let's get to a couple of these bayonets. So this is an old M16 bayonet, military. Doesn't have any rust on the blade, but you can tell it's getting rust on the screws. I hate that when the screws start rusting. So I can pull those off and check underneath here. I haven't pulled it off, but we can see if this little screwdriver will fit in there. And we'll just pull that off and see what kind of rust I get down in there. Actually, the screw itself isn't that rusted. I sure hope I remember to hit play. So this came off, and then the other side came off. And there's not a whole bunch of rust in here. It actually looks pretty damn clean. So I'm going to wipe this down. I'm probably going to put some wax on there. And I'll probably put that Renaissance wax. So even though it looks pretty damn clean, I'm going to put a couple of coats of oil on this little spring right here, because these hooks right here is what grabs the bayonet. Now these are moving pretty good, but I'm going to drop just a little bit of this Go Juice down in there. So I'll open them up, put a little drop in there, a little drop in there, let that work around a little bit, turn it upside down, put a little drop over here, a little drop there, work that in and out, and they're still moving pretty good. I mean, I don't notice a whole bunch of difference, but I've never like coated this or anything since I bought it. So it looks, might be a little rust kind of getting right down in there. Can y'all see that right there? Kind of a little dirt or rust right there. Maybe I'll grab a little brush and kind of brush that off. Looking for my green brush, but I don't see it. I can never find the brush I need when I want it. So I know I have a little brush over here, but I don't see it. And that really irritates me, because I like to put my stuff where I can find it when I need it. And then I end up, unless I just used it. Oh, drop my oil. So I have a wire brush, but I really don't want to use that. I would rather use like a little stiff nylon brush. You know what? I'll use a toothbrush. That'll work. So I'm just gonna get in there where I saw a little bit of that rust. Yeah, that kind of got it right there. So I don't know if you can tell, that's where that rust was at, and now it's kind of gone. Alrighty. So this on the inside looks pretty good. So I'm going to pull out some of this Renaissance wax. I'm going to put a little bit of Renaissance wax just on the back side of this plastic. Not that it really needs it. Okay, so I have that done. Put a little of that wax on this interior here. This is actually sticking to my gloves a little more than I thought. So I probably should have used the other set of gloves. But, alright, so we have this. This is the screw that had that little rust on it. So I want to get rid of that. I can either use some of this little steel wool and run that over it to get rid of that rust. And that cleaned up that screw pretty good. Wipe it down, put a little Renaissance wax on that bad boy. Oh shit, those have little washers. I didn't see those little washers, darn it. Okay, so put a little Renaissance wax on there, and on there, these little washers, I'm not real sure if these, where those little washers went. I gotta guess they go down here, is my guess. But let me put a little Renaissance wax on them. And I'm thinking that's where they go. Should have probably checked that. If I didn't check it, what I will do, and somebody's going to say you didn't wipe that off. I know I didn't wipe it off on purpose. Because it's just Renaissance wax, so I wipe it off, it's just not as much. Okay, so that looks like it came through pretty nice. Drop that one in there. Put this screw in here. Put this back together. Alrighty, that bayonet is nice and tight, back together. I like it. Oh yeah, that came out nice, huh? I didn't even do this part of it with this Renaissance wax. Alrighty. This is the sheath where it goes in, so I'm going to go ahead and put some wax on it. Maybe put a little on the snap so the snap doesn't rust. We should be good to go. So I can either wipe this off or leave it on. If I wipe it off, not going to give it a whole bunch of shine, but it might make it look smoother. This is non-wipe side, and this is the wipe side. Half a dozen one or the other. It's still got microscopic, it bonded in there. This I haven't wiped it off. So do you want to wipe it off? It's up to you. Doesn't matter. Same with this. It's on here. It's got some wax on here. Do I want to wipe it off? I can. That's what it looks like wiped off. That's what it looks like non-wiped off. Alrighty. And that is one bayonet that's cleaned, protected, got a good coating on it, and hopefully it's not going to rust. Hooks onto your AR, M4, whatever. I think this is my AK bayonet. So it's got a nice little snap right here. So I want to oil that snap because that keeps it in this sheath. And if you press that button in, then you're allowed to pull it out. Fits nice, looks pretty good. I don't see any rust on it. Maybe a little bit right there. I'm going to run a little steel wool over that. Otherwise, it looks like it's in pretty good condition. So I'm going to go ahead and probably pull these handles off, because these handles have probably never been pulled off. That Renaissance or wax puts off a pretty strong smell. So let me just hit this with a little steel wool. This steel wool really does nice on removing surface rust. I really think it's underrated and underused, because it just really strips away that kind of rust, or if there is any rust. Okay, let's see if the screwdriver will fit this. Yeah, it does. Let's see if there's any little things that, washers that I lose. Okay, so this one doesn't have a washer. Looks like there's a pretty good bit of oil on there. I don't see a lot of rust on here, but I have to wipe it with something that's semi-white and then see if this has got any rust, if this oil is rusting, which it is. Now that could be the color of the oil, or it could be rust. I think that's a little bit of a rust coming on there. But because it had a good oil coating, it didn't do much. When you get down to it, you can see it had the that coating of oil there. That's pretty rusty. That's kind of nasty. So this one definitely needed a good cleaning like that. Same thing on this side. Oh yeah, look at that. That's nasty. Now that may not be rust. That may be that, what's that crap the Russians put on their stuff? Cosmoline or whatever. That may be what that is. So here's how the spring action works to release that on and off. Pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and get a Q-tip down in here. Looks like it's got some of that Cosmoline. So since I'm seeing this Cosmoline crap, I'm thinking instead of rust, that's probably what it was. Alrighty. I'll go ahead and give that a squirt down with oil also. I don't see any rust on there to be wiping off. All I'm kind of getting off is that Cosmoline crap. Maybe a little rust right there on that spring. Can you guys see that little spring right there? Looks like there's a little bit of rust right there. I don't know if I'm getting that in the camera or not. Give that a good little squirt. Make sure we get some good oil in there. Yeah, so this blade turned out really nice. So now I want to make sure the grips are good and clean on the inside. Got all that rust and crap off that. Maybe I'll put some Renaissance wax on the inside of this. The screw's probably going to be pretty dirty. Oh man, that was nasty. Look at that. Woo! When you clean your screws, you have to squeeze it and twist it so all this terry cloth gets in these grooves. Same with springs. So this has a little bit of rust right in that little tip. Can you see that? So I can either get a toothbrush in there and maybe get rid of that, or I can use some of that steel wool. Oh, toothbrush took care of it. No problemo. See the difference? Hopefully you can see the difference. Alrighty. So this little bayonet Probably never been cleaned. I don't think I've ever cleaned it. I don't know how long I've had it. But we're going to put a little Renaissance wax on it. How about that? Glove torn up. Should have got a better glove. I'm going to get one of my heavy duty gloves now. See the difference? This one's thicker. Got little ridges. This one's really thin. Okay, so this Renaissance wax should make these grips protectant, non-oxygen, non-rusting. I'm going with the grooves on this. Put a little of that on that screw head. And I think I'm good to go. Probably put that sucker back together. Looks like it goes like that. This goes on like so, maybe. Maybe not. Oh, it's got to go in. Okay. Put a good screw on there. I think I'll be good to go. I don't like the way this thing isn't fitting real nice. Man, that screw must really hold down a lot of pressure. If that, if it's this loose. Okay. Well, that solid's right up. Once you get that torque down on the screw, woo! Think those grips are loose, but they're not. They're right on in there. Wow. Very nice. Put a little of that Renaissance wax on the bottom part here, around the connector. On each side of the blade. Alrighty. Let that dry while I put some on here. A little bit of metal lip right there, so I want to get in there so there's no rusting there. Oh, got a little bit of a discoloration on that area. Might be some Cosmoline down there. Let's see if it hooks in okay. Locks in either side. Locks in. We're good to go, baby. I know somebody's saying, he didn't wipe off the blade. I know. I was going to leave it, but this has got a pretty nice little finish on the blade, so I'll take that Renaissance wax off and it'll make it look nice. What does that say on there? Can you guys read that? I don't know if you can read that or not. So this is my AK bayonet. Nice. AR, AK, two nice little bayonets. So those are done. I've been wanting to clean them up. And then this one I got, it's an M16. It's a really nice bayonet for the M16 that's made in Germany. It says USMC or US M8A1, made in Germany. And it's got a nice sheath, a nice coat, a good snap with like almost rubber line coating, so it unsnaps well. Tell it's got some good paint on it. Blade looks good. Grips look brand new. Everything looks pretty much brand new on this sucker. So I'm just gonna wipe this down and then put a because I don't see anything on here. Actually, does that say Colt? I think that might say Colt right there. Is that what that says? Can you guys see that? Right there. I think that does say Colt. I'm going to go ahead and give that a little hit with the steel wool. Yep, that's what it says, alright. Huh. Alright. Put a little Renaissance wax on there. I'm not going to pull these grips off because they, I mean, this thing just appears to be stinking brand new. So, I'm just going to hit it with a coat of Renaissance wax. Alrighty, that's done. Hit this piece with it. That's a nice bayonet. Maybe a little on the snap. We are good to go. Oh man, I got some black stuff off that one. That was kind of odd. For some reason, these microfibers take that Renaissance wax much better than anything else. So when you're removing it, I would recommend getting a... So that's what it looks like. There's a little Colt emblem right there. If I'm getting that in. Made in Germany. Nice bayonet. Alrighty. Alexa, set thermostat to 67. Get a little warm in here. Alrighty, so this bayonet done, my tools are done. I've got a box full of magazines here that I need to do some cleaning on. And I've got some, a lot of 1911 mags. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of those. There's another bag of 2, 4, 6, 8, maybe 10. Here's another bag with some shorties. And these are all different mags. I got all kind of mags from different guns. I don't know what half these guns probably are. I probably sold half these guns. So I need to pull all these out and clean them. And here's some 1911 mags that I need to clean them. What else I got in here? I got a few loose 1911 mags. And I got this little bag of 1911. 1911 mags. So, I got to do some mag cleaning. And some Renaissance and some making sure they're not rusting, etc. So, that's it. Here's some armor piercing 30-06 for my M1 Garand. Little black tip. Someone's going to tell me they're not armor piercing. Whatever. Alright, here's some regular M1 Garand. Just 30-06 ammo. These little things don't rust too bad. They're pretty good about not rusting. I don't know what they put on these, but they're pretty good. But I should probably clean them up, put a coat of oil on them. But anyway, another project, another day. Thanks for coming. We'll end that there with some cleaning some bayonets and tools.